Can be difficult to explain because we do such a variety of things here.
311 is a call center that is basically there for the citizen to call in to report issues, to request services.
We are basically your one stop for city government information.
Well, the reason we started 311 is because we had all these telephone numbers, dozens of telephone numbers that people could call to help solve their problems.
Folks had a lot of trouble sort of navigating the bureaucracy, if you will, of city government, which just comes with the territory.
And said, why can't we just call just one number and have a one-stop shop for all things, all complaints that community might have?
Things going on in the city, people call 311 to find out what's going on.
If we can't help you here, then we can tell you where you can go within the city to get assistance for what you're inquiring about.
We're like a link between the citizens and the government.
Now, with just really one phone number or one website to tell people about, it's much easier for folks to know how to address these issues, how to communicate with the city.
They call one telephone number, 311. And it's worked very well.
Well, we are not 411, so we are not general information in the sense of where is the nearest movie theater.
If you can look it up in your phone book and for something down the street, our call load, we have another call coming in, so we need to keep those lines cleared for city service calls.
They need a police or fire or paramedic. We advise them to hang up and dial 911. We don't transfer the call. If they hang up and dial, then 911 can trace their call. So that's important for them. Secondly, if they're just requesting like a non-emergency police presence, we will transfer them over to 645-4545 for the patrol division. We can take service requests if someone is under the impression that there's some kind of narcotic activity going on at a certain address. We can take that information in a service request that goes over to the narcotics division, and then they investigate it, and callers can be anonymous on the service request if they wish to.
A lot of calls are just for general city services. Bulk pickup.
Bulk pickup accounts for about 50% of all of our service requests for the year.
In the winter time when we have a storm, so snow plow, clean up the streets.
Potholes, a lot of street maintenance, a lot of code enforcement calls, especially when the weather gets warmer.
We got grass growing now, so that's one of the major calls now.
And sometimes it's just a general question. We may not know it, but we have the number who you could call to get that information.
Metropolitan Housing Authority is 421-6000.
If we're not able to help them right away, we do have a very large list of contacts. We'll either put them on hold and then call our contact and ask the question and then get back to the customer. If it's something that's going to take a long time to kind of look into, we will get their name and number and have one of the representatives assigned to callbacks that day call them back later on with the information.
If they can't deal with something, they let us know, but usually they find a way to. I mean, I don't think in the years I've been calling them that I've ever had them say that they couldn't help me with something. They've always been very helpful.
Anything that does with refuse, trash pickup, I would say that would be the most common call.
I call in on bulk trash all the time. I did yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Scheduling a bulk is what's the biggest thing that the 311 system does for that. I think the majority of their calls that they receive are probably to schedule bulk pickups for the Refuse Collection Division.
In the meantime, what I can do, I can set up a bulk pickup service.
The majority of the stuff we do pick up is sofas and mattresses and recliners, TV sets. Some of that stuff needs to be properly prepared before we pick it up, but we do pick it up.
Aluminum shed? No, we don't take that. No. That's considered building material.
We get a lot of questions about bulk pickup. You know, what can I put out for bulk? What can I not put out for bulk?
Basically, what we do not pick up are building materials, automobile parts, and anything with refrigerants in it, such as a refrigerator, an air conditioner, or a dehumidifier. Basically, we say that we pick up everything in your house that wasn't meant to build your house. We don't pick up things like fencing, drywall. We don't pick up things like wood that from a banister that you've torn down. Anything that you use to build your house, basically, we don't pick up. Any request for service through the Refuse Collection Division originates in 311 from a call from a customer. If the customer's trash can was missed, they call 311. That is sent to us, and within 3 business days, we'll go back and pick that trash can up. If their trash can is broken in any way or needs replaced altogether, they call 311 also, and that is transmitted to us, and we will try to get your trash can, new trash can, to you by your next scheduled pickup time.
At the Department of Public Service Division of Planning Operations, we interact with 311 on a daily basis. On our operations side, our street maintenance staff's most common 311 request is for potholes repair.
And what's the intersection there?
They call it a pothole if they don't have a specific address. We need an intersection, a major intersection. You know, what direction were they traveling in? What side of the street? Was it near the curb?
Do ask often is how big in diameter is the pothole, if you know it.
When a request comes in for a pothole repair, an investigator who's assigned to that zone goes out and investigates it, writes up a work order, and has it repaired promptly. Our service standard is 3 days for pothole repairs.
If people don't call in potholes, then they'll get worse. I mean, street maintenance does their best to find potholes, but you know, by the citizens being active, it helps everyone as well.
Other 311 requests within operations that are very popular are damaged and missing street signs.
You can call here, we can put a request for you, we can send it over to the Transportation Division, Traffic.
Those calls are sent to the department right away because the stop sign is very important. I do ask, do you have any speed signs in that location on your street? No, I don't have any, so I create one for speed signs, so they can put some speed signs in that area. Would you like to have a speed trailer? So like he said, oh yes, I think that will slow down some vehicles. Great, okay, so I'll create another one for speed trailers. Then I send another request to the police department, is to see if we can have an officer to patrol the area every so often, so they can drive down and see if anyone is speeding.
For traffic signal installations, if you want a traffic signal in an intersection, you can call 311, and one of our engineers will do a study to see if the signal is warranted. If there's a traffic signal that is not functioning properly or is totally out, and 311 gets a request for that, that is sent immediately to our operations section, and someone is dispatched immediately within an hour to make sure that that emergency situation is taken care of.
One of the things I thought was important was to track each complaint. So that when the call came in, we have now a system of what the call was, who made the call, what the problem was, and then how we forwarded that on to the various department or entity to deal with that problem.
It gives you a record of what you've called in, so down the road you can keep a track of how the progress of it is. So it's a number that you get, and also it keeps you abreast of what's going on.
Those are tracked weekly, monthly, yearly, telling a department how many days did it take for that department to receive the service request, fulfill it, and close the request.
So that there's a way for the community to go back and see how the issues are resolved, make sure that they have been resolved.
Now, not everybody gets their problem solved. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But I can tell you, city government does look into it, and many times does address directly what their problem is.
Ok, muy legítimo. Ok, ¿cuál es la dirección, por favor?
We have a large population in Columbus that speak other languages.
They come in and they have heavy accents. We just try to slow the call down and get as much information as we can.
Then we do our best to be patient and just really listen. And sometimes we do have to, request that they repeat themselves, but, in a nice manner because we want to work with them too.
We do have 3 bilingual service representatives, and when the caller initially calls, we'll direct them to select a certain number, gets them right to a Spanish-speaking representative. If, for whatever reason, I don't have a Spanish-speaking representative available, one of the other reps will try to assist, get the information necessary, and then have one of the Spanish-speaking reps call them back. If it isn't Spanish within our database, there is information on calling the language line. That is a service that we have to subscribe to, and it's very expensive. However, the resident can initiate the call to the language line themselves, and that allows an interpreter to call back and forth, or to speak back and forth, so that we can get their issue going.
So it's a way in which those who speak other languages can get their issues responded to and addressed as well. The sooner that the city knows there's an issue in a neighborhood or a household or a block, the faster it is responded to. So when people know they can call 311, they will be responded to.
Pretty much every week when we're out in our neighborhood picking up trash, we'll actually, if we see something going on, we will call, so on a weekly basis.
What I like about 311 is that everybody there is professional, they're very nice. They usually write the ticket right there, they get back with you, and if we have any questions, they're there to answer them.
For me, it's the telephone when I'm picking up trash because I can call right then and there with my phone. Other people probably prefer the computer. Like our secretary, she'll call in sometimes when she sees something because the computer is more convenient for her.
I will use the website to give whatever I need. Monday, I have my tracking numbers, and I'm ready to go. Through the week, I call 311, and I use it faithfully.
Government services work so much better when they're able to communicate with the public, who can tell you directly what's going on with them at that moment.
Sometimes I have friends or relatives that say they can't get something done. I say, have you tried the 311 call center? You should really try them because they really are on it and they get things done for you. So try it.
Would you like to write down your reference number?
Simply the fact that it's recorded, that there's a request established, gives folks a lot of comfort knowing that it's not just getting lost somewhere in the system.
We always strive for perfection, but we are the #1 call center, the #1 311 center in the country. And that's something to be proud of.